Hello and welcome to the Collegium, our monthly magazine program in 3 parts: cinema, state of affairs, and our arts calendar. For our Cinema 1 portion of the program, we bring you Saying It Loud, director Bob Law from the United States of America. We then proceed to State of Affairs, where we're very pleased to have 2 guests, 2 ladies from the Deutsches Kinemathek Museum for Film and Fernsehen, or Museum for Film and Television. I refer to Ines Kolbe and Veronika Wiedauer. Last but not least, we proceed to Cinema 2, a film about kids and music from Spain. So in addition to staying cool, remember you are participating in what else but the Collegium. Hello, and welcome to our State of Affairs portion of the program, where we're very pleased to be joined by 2 ladies engaged in rather distinguished work here in Berlin and internationally. I refer to Ines Kolbe and Veronika Wiedauer. Ladies, welcome to the Collegium.
Thank you, Donald.
First of all, since I didn't tell the people what it is you're doing here in Berlin and internationally, who would like to tell first what it is you're doing here?
Well, shall I start?
You can start. Okay.
Donald, thank you very much for having us here. We come from a rather small library in Berlin, and the library belongs to the Film and Television Museum of Berlin. It's located at Potsdamer Platz. We have a building where you find the famous film school, Deutsche Film- und Fernsehakademie, in top floor. And then there is also the Arsenal. We will talk about that later. The cinema, very good cinema. And the Museum of Film and Television. And in the 5th floor there's us, the library. And I think we are quite an old institution, about 40 to 50 years. And we are 7 people working in the library. I am a newcomer. I'm there for half a year. I lead the library. I'm the head of the library. And I have 6 wonderful colleagues. One of them is Veronika Weidauer. And we have about 80,000 books there, including the periodicals. And we are specialized on film and television. And we also have a press archive and a lot of material. And I think we are going to talk about that.
Okay. Veronika, would you be kind enough, before you tell our audience about your background, when she talks about Potsdamer Platz, for people who live abroad, and you know there are many people abroad who will see this, what is Potsdamer Platz?
Well, Potsdamer Platz is a very new place. It was before the Second World War. It was the center of the old Berlin city, and it was destroyed during the war. And after the reunification, they rebuilt this place and made a kind of film center in this building we are situated now. So,
do you think that with that contribution and with those resources, do you think it was a wise investment for Berlin and internationally? And what about the Berlinale? Maybe you could tell them that. Because people have no idea what that is, many people.
Well, the Berlin Festival
yes.
Is also located now at the Potsdamer Platz. And before it was in the city of West Berlin. At the Zoopalast was the main cinema. And now since the year 2000, we are all together there who are working with film and the history of film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, thank you very much. Now, what is your responsibility in the Bibliothek or the library?
Well, I'm working as a diploma librarian since 20 years now in that library.
What does that mean, to be a diploma librarian? What's the diploma mean?
Well, that means I made a diploma in librarian science. I'm working there since 20 years now.
Wow.
And I'm responsible for the books.
Okay.
We have a lot of books, and I categorize these the inhalt of this book, the contents. And I give the keywords that scientists who are coming from all over the world to research in our library, they find their material very quickly.
Right.
That is the main work I'm doing. But I also have contacts to other cinematheques and other film institutions around the world for changing documents.
Great.
Due to the fact that we, all our colleagues in the other departments, publish also. We have some materials for exchange. And so we have several institutions we are working with.
Great. In this age of technology with internet and television and other things, what, in your opinion, is the value of having a library, the museum, archives, a place to store these materials? What difference does it make?
Well, I think we have the task to conserve everything, so that even if the internet breaks down, if, I don't know, there's no more electricity, we still have the materials. You can come and look into the material. And I think it is a false conclusion that everything is digitally available. It is not. There's so much. It takes so much money to make everything digital, and For example, our museum, we have a lot of collections of costumes. You cannot digitize a costume. You have to see it. You have to see it exposed in an exhibition. And then there is always people who want to see the original for research reasons.
Right.
And yeah, but also digitization is very good. I think we have a lot of films digitized so that we can show them in the modern cinemas. And also we have databases to do research, which is really making work easier for the scientists, of course. But then talking about the periodicals, my colleague Cordula Dörer, she tells me that for many periodicals from the 60s or 70s, there is it's very difficult to find everything because the databases, they only start, for example, in the 60s. So what has been published before, the people have to go through every journal, you know, and there should be something like an index. Veronika, please tell me if I'm wrong, but there are still things which are difficult to research and to read, difficult to find the things you need.
Veronika, in this age of economic cutbacks, how did all of you manage to finance this important resource? And what has it been in the future, in the past, and what do you think is going to be the future for the financial support you probably require?
Well, for the future, I cannot say anything. I observe the situation since I'm working there that you have all in all cultural departments you have cut-offs in the financial department. So, but in fact, the kind of publication also changes. When during we were collecting a very huge kind of very huge collection of different materials, like catalogs, like festival catalogs. This department has changed very much because they don't print anymore. They publish in an electronical way, for example. And for the books, maybe this will be a kind of development also. But well, for the financial part, I don't know.
How would you? I mean, you have children, and one of the things that our audience is quite interested in, with what you have chosen to do with your life or your profession, would you encourage other young people or your children to follow in your footsteps? Would you suggest them to do that?
Of course I would, because it's a profession where you are very close to knowledge. And even if the print media change, the knowledge will never change. You have always some different kinds of how to conserve your knowledge. Of course, you don't know what happens with the digital things in 50 years. So that's why we still prefer the printed versions. If there is a book published, I always write, I prefer the printed one. But well, maybe everything changes. But the knowledge and the curiosity of people will stay, and the scientists will always have research, and they need the libraries for.
Yes, they need the libraries to verify sometimes what is written in the net or what other scientists say. So they have to go into that source material and see if it's really true.
When she spoke about something about the knowledge, and we talked about young people, how do you address the issue of interesting young people and adults in the issue of knowledge?
Well,
how do you reach out to the world?
We are a part of the Deutsche Kinemathek. So there's the library, there are different archives, the film archive, and which is Martin Kolbe is the head of that archive, and he's also the head of our department. So we work together with him.
I'd like to thank him too.
Yes.
We all thank him for his encouragement in providing the opportunity to present this program.
Yes, we do. And then, as I told you, the costume archive, we have a photo archive. Then we say Schriftgut in German, which means everything which is not a book like this, but it's more like material like this, and little leaflets published about a single film. Our Schriftgut archive, they collect everything, and also Veronika, help me. What else?
The script archive.
Script archive, of course, scripts.
We have an archive of posters and of photographies. We have, of course, the Marlene Dietrich Nachlass collection.
Her estate.
Yeah.
Great. Now, that's very interesting. But other than what we're doing at this very moment, how do you get the word to the world?
Yeah, I was going far away. I wanted to say that we in our institution, we work together. We have a department. Their task is to get the word out about film to young people. They work closely with teachers in Berlin. They invite school classes to come to the museum. Everyone who comes to the museum with this entrance card, they can come to the library for free and so get an overview if they like it. And then we have schools who know about us and who come and they have a guided tour, and also university students from the different film departments in the Berlin universities, they come. But we could do more to get to those people who are not in an educational context already. So I think we could think about we will have to get some ideas that maybe we can work with other libraries, with the public libraries, and say maybe a leaflet, or maybe go there and say, if you're interested in a film and if you're 16 years old, then please come to us. We have a specialized, very good collection for film and television.
Veronika, you've had the opportunity to work in this bibliothek for a long time, 20 years. What have been your observations in terms of when the people tour the bibliothek? How do they respond to it? And does it vary with different groups, or is it pretty uniform in terms of their interest and their response to the resources you offer?
No, it's every research is a special one. There are scientists from all over the world coming to us. Of course, the way of doing research has changed in the last 20 years. Due to the internet, a lot of facts, some first facts of knowledge you find, but not the deeper one behind. So the one who are just researching a few things do this at home, but after they come for continue the research in our library.
Well, with the people that are already academically inclined, that's one direction. But what about the young people and the people who don't have those backgrounds? How do they respond to what it is you are demonstrating or providing for them? And how do you approach them in terms of encouraging them to pursue or to continue that research or that study or that interest?
I think the very young people are not coming to us.
Teenagers?
Yes, teenagers are coming in with their classes or with their teachers. I don't know if some of them come back for their private research or if they are studying. Those who are coming are the students of the film institutions at the university, at the Free University or Humboldt or Potsdam, whatever. And we have a person who makes the a touring who makes some guided tours through the house. So we also introduce young people when they are coming, when they have questions. Of course, we are working with them. And in fact, our library is a public library. Everybody is able to use it. We have few fees, and everybody may come, and everybody is welcome.
And we are also lending our books. So if you come and you have an address in Berlin, then you come and you can lend the books, you can lend DVDs, you cannot lend the journals, this is not possible. But yeah, you can take it away for about 3 weeks, and you can call us by phone or send an email, and then you can keep those material if not anybody else wants to see that. And we also have 3 television sets, so you can consult, when you say consult, or you can enjoy also the films in our library. You're welcome to do so. We have wireless LAN, so you can go to the internet on your own device. Yes, and what I would like to point out is that I think our library is really special. Although we would like people to be calm and not disturb others, I think people meet in the library and they make contacts, and also when our personnel, our colleagues, when they come to the library, they will get into conversation with users, and sometimes we say, okay, if you have a special questions, please ask Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, she's working in this department and she might help you with further seeing material. So I think this is very good. This could be better, of course. What we plan for the future is that someone can browse through our collections online, because in our house the library is the most modern one, because we have the online catalog and the others haven't yet. And we are working on putting all the material or catalog it online, so that you can really see what we have. And because this is really good for people who come from other countries, who travel a long way to come to us, that they can see what we have. I mean, now it has positive sides. When someone comes to us, they have an email conversation, or they get on the phone and ask, do you have this and this? I'm really interested in Marlene Dietrich's lipstick, I don't know what case, beauty case. And then they tell them, of course, what they have and under which conditions they can see this.
Right. With the materials in the library, how far back do those materials go?
Oh, we collect the materials from the beginning of movie history, of film history. I think
in Germany or internationally?
International.
Okay.
We have books and materials in all kind of languages, which means maybe it's 30% in German, and a lot of English and French, but also Italian, Spanish, even Chinese, Russian, and from all over the world. Yes, our greatest treasure that we have, and that's what the scientists from all over the world are telling us, are the old journals, because we collect these journals from the beginning, from cinema, from the film pioneers until now, and the old one are on microfilm. You can watch them and read them on the screen, yeah.
What sort of materials do you publish or put online to tell the story or the history of the library? What do you do in those directions?
Oh, there's a text about the history of the library on the website. And also we have a little presentation about the different collections, starting with the books, with the journals, and also we explain about grey literature.
What does that mean?
We have
Oh, good
brought
heavens.
some examples.
All right.
Grey literature means that they are published without a publisher, mostly on a special occasion. That means a catalogue for a festival, or a brochure, a flyer for an institution who is working with film, or maybe this kind of movie program from the Kino Arsenal. We have this. We collect these movie programs from cinemas.
And who prints that? I mean, who does that? No, you told it a little while. Who prints that, and who puts that all together, assembles all that, does all that work?
Well, that is printed by the cinema.
And assembles the information?
What?
See, I mean, the text and everything, there's a lot of information that's on there. Who does that work? Where does that come from?
That is coming from the institution.
Okay, that's okay.
We only we get this kind of publication from the institutions. We collect this in our different departments.
Yes.
Of course, sometimes the institutions are so busy that they forget to send something, and then we have to ask. And please, we need this. We want to have a full collection of your material.
Right.
And really, this is in case of festivals and also in case of these programs. You need manpower to do this and to phone everybody, and so we have minimized our collection a little bit. I mean, everything which is given to us, we keep. But actively acquiring this material, we had to specialize on 100 festivals. And for the programs of cinemas, I don't know right now. We have to go through this. But I think we have a lot of German cinemas. There is the Cinema Prize, also given by the Kinemathek, and we try to collect at least all these cinema programs. And then, of course, Cinémathèque Française and what is it, Harvard. I think Harvard has also a film program, and so the most prestigious or famous cinemas in the world, we also try to collect those programs.
I was very fortunate some years ago to work with the former Arsenal cinema that was located elsewhere other than in Potsdamer Platz, with the Gregors. Do you know about Ulrich and Erika Gregor?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, please tell our audience about them. Yeah, please.
Well, we are located in the same building. The Arsenal is downstairs. We are on the 5th floor. And well, they also come several times for using our great material treasures.
Yes,
yeah.
for
So
developing new programs and finding out about the Arsenal is a very special cinema. They really, what can I say? They dig treasures. You know, they really show films which you cannot see anywhere else, and they also distribute those films. If you are interested in a film, then you can ask the Arsenal, and they will give it to you. So they do something for the filmmakers to get more known and seen.
And what about the Arsenal before it became part of Potsdamer Platz? Do you know about that? You probably, certainly.
Yes, it was on another part of the city, exactly. So now I think it's more easily for them to doing the research.
Right. That's very good. No, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay, finished.
There's a very interesting program that I've seen on this television program. It's of old German films. Have you seen that? I think it's called Flimmerkiste, I believe is the name of it. Oh, then I have to introduce you to it. This is a gentleman that's on this station, and he presents, he's an elderly German gentleman, and he presents old films from the 20s, 30s, 40s. And I always see it very late at night, but the information that's there, the perspective. I mean, for instance, he shows me a view on the world that I would have no possibility of knowing about.
I think it is very important that also in schools and in universities that people are introduced to these early movies. I was lucky when I was studying in the town of Jena in Thüringen, in the Germanistik. This is what we call to study German literature and language.
Yes.
Always people laugh about me. What did you study? I studied German, but it's really good to discover the literature. And I had a professor, and her name was Sigrid Lange, and she introduced me to all those great silent movies. And there's so much in these movies about the time, the psychology, the Weimar Republic, and I think they're great actors. And also we have a department in our permanent exhibition who introduces you to all these silent movies and the silent stars and the technique of silent films.
One of the things that I found that was very interesting about those films is it gave me an insight into German history, German culture, at least in a certain period, that I had not had before. And I think that also it's very helpful for people in other parts of for the Germans themselves, about their opinion about their culture, but also for people in other cultures and other countries to see this. They can just sit back, relax, and listen to what the people said and see what they were doing. And I think that gives a very important impression about German culture. Or do you have another opinion?
No, it's like this.
I mean, it's also, you know, the expressionist movies. I hope that people don't think that Germans are like this all the time, like the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I mean, it is an art film, but it tells you a lot about psychology and maybe also how the Third Reich was possible to get popular.
And almost totally accept it. Well, I think that if you look at any, like for instance what you offer in the library, you offer a wide scope of materials that offers people various perspectives. So if they see one film, you can't judge a book by that one cover. You have to look through it and see more. And I think you have those kinds of materials.
Yes, we have a whole section of film history. And also television history, and this is ordered also by country. You can go to the shelf and you will have signs for the country. There we follow the classification of the FIAF, which is the Fédération Internationale du Archiv de Film.
Did you write that down?
Later.
The Association of Film Archives all over the world. And then you can really browse by country, and then of course we have most material about German film history, and it starts with brothers Skaladanowski, and it goes on until today. The new German film, I think, or New Berlin, what is it called?
Berlin School.
Berlin School, thank you. Yes, so yeah, and also for television, it's the same. We also have material about the history. And then you can also look by the genre. We have the different film genres. We have film theory. Then we have a very nice department. If you look for a certain person who has been active in film, like a director or an actor, you can go to the shelf by alphabet and see what we have about that person, and then it is a good entry to do further research, because there are all the biographies and works that this person has written, him or herself. And then we have a part where you can search by the title of a film, what has been published about the film. We have the published scripts and also criticism or theory which deals only with this film. Yes, and then we have, of course, topics like film and society, film and economy, film and technical matters. What did I forget?
Probably
I think
just this.
Oh,
have you
yeah.
heard about this festival?
Have you heard about that festival?
Good heavens, we want to hear about this festival. When you have filmmakers and film festivals that come from other nationalities, possibly other ethnic groups, how do you respond to their contributions to German society? How is that done? Like, for instance, with this. Is that collected within your library and encouraged, or how do you approach that matter?
Of course. As I said to you earlier, we have to somehow, because we cannot collect everything. We used to collect about 450 festivals. There was one person in the library almost only occupied with this, and he has retired, and so also Veronika has to look after these festivals, and she cannot possibly do this, so we have a collection of 100 festivals, mostly German festivals, and then also the so-called A festivals from other countries. But then, since we are really lovers of festivals, when we get a donation with other material, we will always collect it. And so if you go in our catalog online and you type in the town where the festival is held, then you will see if we have material on that festival.
Interesting.
And we have it in compact shelving, so to save space. And when someone comes, and also he can ask us, do you have festival XYZ? And we will tell, yes, we have material, and then we will give the material to him. And also the festival landscape is moving. Some festivals do not exist anymore, and other festivals come up. And it's not a secret, I guess, the new festivals, we look at it, we collect them, and then after a while we decide if we take it into our permanent collection, if we catalogize and categorize, this, a difficult word. And yeah, that's how it works. And everything we have, we don't throw away.
Great.
Only if we maybe have the third same item, then we give it away and we exchange with other institutions, or we give it and our readers can take it.
Ladies, it's been splendid talking to you. I've learned, and I'm sure our audience has learned a lot about what it is you're doing in the Deutsche Kinemathek. It's wonderful. Congratulations. Oh, the gentleman you're referring to, I also had the pleasure to work with him. I think it's Jean Pichard.
Jean Pichard, that's his
exactly.
name, yes.
Yeah, he was a very helpful fellow. So thank you for joining us here on the Collegium.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.